How's it going, everyone? Charged up here. It's November. First snow already hit. As you can see, I already have salt in my vehicle. This is my second winter with the red Prius Prime, and I haven't undercoated it yet. I probably should have last winter, but I didn't. I'm not aware of anyone having a video out on YouTube of what the underside of a Prius Prime looks like. So I'm about to show you before I start undercoating it, while I undercoat it, and what it looks like afterwards. Stay tuned, and I hope you like what you see. If anyone's wondering what I'm using Lubri Delta. It's this place up in Laval, Quebec, right next to Montreal. So if it works for Canadians, you know it works. Works well for winters. To my knowledge, no one has this in the United States, but if anyone's interested, I can get you some in 5-gallon pails. Just private message me, and I'll see if I can set something up. Have it up on a ramp, and not only will this video be good for you to see, but it'll be good for me to look back and remember how all these panels go together. As you can see, there's panels everywhere on this car. Excellent for drag, but a nightmare if you're going to take them all down and put them back up. To remove the front panel, there's 12 10mm screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With a push pin in the middle. Try to be careful here. That's why you get the right tool for the job. Okay, anyways. So this just tucks underneath the front lip. And once you break that, it all comes loose. These guys right here, we got 1, 2, 10mm, and then these you should be able to access when you pull this down. You don't want to do these in the back just yet, because that's a part of the wheel liner. I did that over here so you can kind of see. Turn on my headlamp. So once you pull these down, right here, sorry for the glare, that screw, that Phillips screw, that doesn't get in the way, you don't need to remove that. But once you pull that down, you can see that that's all one piece, and we'll pull that down later. But once you pull this down, you should be able to squeeze these right here. There's 3 of them, and then this little plastic piece can come out. It's probably pretty easy to say, well, just pay someone else to do it. But once you get underneath here and you see all the things that can corrode, you realize how much time this actually really takes. Anyone that's doing this professionally, I don't care how much you're paying them, it's not their vehicle, they don't care. They're just trying to get vehicles through, and they're not really going to do as good of a job as if you do it yourself. So if you have the time, take the time to just do it correctly. It is annoying, it's very messy, but it's worth it if you want your vehicle to last a long time and you live where there's salt on the roads. Just pulls out that little tab, and again, these 3 right here. It's easier with needle nose pliers than your fingers, but you can do it with your fingers. By the way, I'm bagging up all of my screws so that I don't lose them and labeling them, keeping them with the panel they went down with. Very easy once you get 4 or 5 panels into this to forget where screws went, where panels went. To get the oil panel off, there's just 3 10mm screws. 1, 2, and then the 3rd one's in the front. I don't believe there's anything else holding it. There are some tabs back there and some arrows showing you what overlaps with what. Just pulls down, slides out. And if you're lucky enough, you get some acorns. These ones are actually easy with a flathead screwdriver. I went through and I pulled them all down already, nice and carefully. 9, here's the last one, 10. Now this whole thing should come down. There. Believe it or not, the Prius does have an engine. And here's the rest of the acorns. For these side panels, there's a 10mm screw that goes up there. You can see it on the passenger side. I already took the driver's side off. The one closest to the exhaust is a 10mm, and that rusty one right there is an 11mm. I thought it was a 10. And there's 3 push pins, 1, 2, and then 3 right there. Same with the other side. And the rest are all this, I don't know, it's kind of annoying if you ask me, but there's like a plastic female thing that comes up over a metal steel stud. Sorry about the shadow, I'm trying to show you here. And you can kind of twist this and pull down at the same time and they should come loose. There's a bunch of them holding on this panel. On the driver's side, I believe there's only 2 10mm, one right there. One of those annoying things I was talking about earlier. One right over in here, sorry about the shadow. Let's see if we can get it, yeah, right there. And then back here, it's actually a push pin holding it right there. Oh, there's actually a 3rd 10mm right there, sorry. This is an area you don't want snow and ice and salt to get to. Remember when I just said that snow and ice and salt can get up in there? Look how much dirt is in here. I'm gonna have to wash that out before I put that back on. Definitely don't want salt to be all up in there. I mean, this is plastic, but the rest of the stuff's all steel and aluminum. See all the dirt and grime that's already underneath there? I have a couple more panels to remove, and then I'll clean this all up before I start undercoating and dry it off. There's the back bumper. There's 3 push pins right up there. A couple down in here. And some of those annoying things that I can't stand. And they're in the shadows. Good place for them. I probably should have done this last year before the first winter with the car. But since I didn't, everything looks pretty good with the exception of where the rear bumper attaches on. You can see there's already some rust started right there. And if I come around up along that edge, and sorry for the shadow, right there I think you can see. So that's probably going to be a common spot for the Prius Prime to rust. Probably even the regular Prius model, I think they share the same bumper mounts. But if you're going to undercoat it, make sure that you get there. So I was all fogged up, couldn't really see, but I'm more concerned about my my respirator than my safety glasses. This stuff's pretty viscous, so I don't really think it's going to be getting in my eyes. Anyways, I'm going to start from the back and go to the front, and here we go. Getting inside that rear bumper brace that we were talking about, that mount, there's some holes in the bottom so snow and ice can get out of there, but I'm getting right inside there. That way salt doesn't accumulate there. Behind the bumper there's a steel piece with a styrofoam piece on top, and there's a little lip on that steel piece. It's a stamped piece, and that's starting to rust a little bit too, so I'm gonna get pretty good up there. All right, ready to put on the panels. You can see how well of a job we got. Right up there in the brake lines. The suspension's got it pretty thick on there. Masked off the exhaust. Also masked off the high voltage line coming from the front to the battery. The undercoating is petroleum based. I didn't want it to degrade the rubber. Under the fender. Sorry about the shadow. You can kind of see. This is why you really want to do it yourself. No one that you pay is going to do this good of a job. It's not their vehicle. They don't really care. Alright, all the panels are on now. Didn't miss any pins. Sorry about the shadow. Back it down off this ramp and we'll be good to go.